Вы, свободные люди, чего вам бояться, если нам здесь не страшно?
Free people, what are you so afraid of? If we here are not afraid, if we've stepped over the fear of centuries, then what are you afraid of?
At the moment. It's a play about a circus called Mottram's Big Top. I got the idea from a newspaper cutting. Travelling circus performing in Abergavenny. Weights and measures man in the audience. He didn't get the advertised programme, so he took him to court on the Trade Descriptions Act. The owner of the circus put up a stout defence. He said the high wire lady and the acrobats were all pregnant, so was the dromedary. The leopards had been sent off for breeding. The midget had gone to visit his sick mother. The white clown had joined a religious order in Bromsgrove. The fastest gun in the West had been sent to the wrong town, and the leader of the Grand Parade had been arrested in the pub the night before. Ready? Okay. Circus was fined £100.
I don't believe a word of it.
No, well, I invented some of it.
How'd you do?
How do you do? Oh, God, Zoe.
Why?
That is revolting.
You're back early.
Yeah, well, I gave a penalty against the home side in the last minute. It cost them a game, so I didn't hang about in the pub afterwards. What have you been doing?
Cooking, cleaning, buying store shoes.
When are you supposed to be working?
Dad, we're going down to the cottage next weekend, and I'm bringing Nelson, okay? Right.
Just a minute. I'm reffing next Saturday.
Dad, what's the point of having a country cottage if you never go down there?
I do go down there. I'm going on Tuesday.
You're going to work.
Darling, would you clear that away? I want to lay the table.
Look, I mean, you don't even play. They can play without you.
I'm the referee, the voice of authority. They'd kick each other to bits without me. I could even claim expenses if I knew who to ask. Zoe, what are you doing? Look, I'm 40. I need exercise. You want me to... Look, it's only for a few more weeks and then summer.
It's cricket in the summer. Oh, George phoned, by the way.
George who?
George Toman. Will you ring him back this evening? Darling, come down. Supper's ready.
It's that meeting I promised to go to last.
My slime stuck on the ceiling.
Zoe.
All right, I'll cancel next Saturday. I'll plead the knees. They won't like it. Did George leave his number, by the way?
Supper.
Yeah, it was about an English cop in Atlanta, Georgia. I rode 14 hours with a white southern cop who, from time to time, for the hell of it, told the pimps and the prostitutes that I was an agent for the FBI.
Yeah, with an English accent.
Well, the feds get smarter every day.
What happened to the series?
I blew it.
Oh.
I based the English cop on myself, and they said he wasn't enough like Kojak, so I put him in a dirty Mac, and they said he was too much like Columbo.
Well, why didn't you put him in a white Stetson?
They suggested that, but I didn't think it was me, sir. George!
I'm sorry, I was in an editorial meeting.
Sorry, do you know Desmond Hughes, George Tobin? George edits a magazine that publishes banned writers.
Yeah, I know. I subscribe to it. Hi, George. Hey, I like that Chilean poet you dug up last quarter.
Oh, I'm glad. A lot of people found him rather obscure.
Did they? What's it all about, George? I mean, I didn't expect all this. Who's paying for it all?
Money is not the problem. Let me introduce you to the organizers. Excuse us, dear.
Sure, dear.
Philip, meet a writer friend of mine, Paul Clemens, Philip and Sylvia Rose.
Hello.
Glad you could spare the time. Oh, no, thanks. Thanks for asking me.
Paul and I did a radio program together last year about Czechoslovakia.
Oh, yes. I'm afraid we missed that, but we heard it was marvellous.
Well, it was interesting to do from my point of view. It's the first time I'd attempted a documentary.
Really?
Yeah, I took this tape recorder.
If you'll excuse me, we must get started.
Onto Waterloo
Ladies and
Station.
gentlemen, if you'd all like to gather round,
Ah.
please keep eating and drinking.
all
Did
welcome.
they pay you for that cop scene?
They did, as a matter of fact.
What are you complaining about?
Your time is...
I'm not complaining, Desmond.
My name is Philip Rose. And the point of asking you here, distinguished writers and journalists, is to find ways of mounting a barrage of publicity in the media to help the cause of Russian Jewish dissidents, to act as horseflies, if you like, on the Kremlin's rump. These refuseniks have all been denied visas to go to Israel. Some are in prison, others with their families are suffering KGB harassment even as I speak. But since we formed our committee 7 years ago, we can claim some successes. Now, what we do is select 2 or 3 refuseniks at a time and try to put pressure on the Russian authorities on their behalf. At the moment, we're concentrating on Anatoly Badovsky, a young journalist who's working as a porter in a dairy, and Alexander Kutsov, quite a well-known writer of books on a variety of subjects, who's serving a 15-year sentence for alleged treason. His particular and, well, remarkable story is explained in the folder, along with the biographical details of both men. Also in the folder, you'll see the text of a cable we're planning to send to the Soviet Olympic Committee. If before you leave you'd like to sign the copy, we can get it off immediately, and also get it published in The Guardian. We must use the Olympics to some advantage this summer, because you see it's vital that we keep these people alive in the public's consciousness. And I think we can each of us claim a personal gold medal if either of our 2 men is released in the next few months. Now, a practical thing we can do is remember their birthdays. Kutsov's is in about 3 weeks, I believe. Now, if we all send him a card, then at least he'll know he has friends in the West who are willing to help, and he won't feel forgotten. You'll find the rather complicated address in the folder.
Don't look. You want the room?
No. No, you carry on.
How was your meeting?
Interesting.
What's that?
Well, this is a calendar of their birthdays, and Alexander Kutsov, that's one of the guys they're trying to get released, was born on February the 19th, 1939.
There's only a day between you. You're almost twins.
Yeah. That was one thing. Ah.
Yeah. What was his crime? I mean, what did they accuse him of?
Treason. All he did was plan to nick a bus and drive it across the border to Finland with his family and a group of friends. I mean, they arrested him before he even got to the bus depot. He got the death penalty. Commuted to life imprisonment after world protest. George has lent me a book he wrote in prison. Smuggled out. He said the trial is described with a nice touch of absurdity.
I've got you a poster.
Hmm?
The butcher saved it for me from his window. I thought it might give you inspiration.
Oh, that is terrific. Thanks.
What happened to the wife? Did she go to prison?
Yeah, but she was released after 4 years for some reason. She's in Israel now with her son. He's still got 10 years to do. I mean, if he survives it, he's been in hospital twice already, the poor bastard. You finished?
No, but I've got to collect Zoe and take her to the dentist.
You know, Kutsov's written a book about the circus.
Can you get a copy?
No, it's in Russian and out of print, George thinks.
What have they asked you to do?
Send him a birthday card. Well, it's a start.
The parson's cat is a cowardly cat.
Parson's cat is cuddly cat.
You
Parsons' cat is a coloured cat.
Dee, go on, Mum.
Come on, Mum.
Sorry. The parson's cat is a disobedient cat.
The parson's cat is a dissident cat.
Parsons' cat is a decimated cat.
A what?
Zoe, come on.
Do you mean decapitated?
Yes.
I'll have to stop for milk.
Okay.
I want to stop for the toilet, Mum.
The parson's cat is Dracula's cat.
Parsons' cat is a doomed cat.
Don't jog Daddy when he's driving, darling.
Zoe, if you've got time this weekend, will you do something?
What?
Draw a birthday card for a friend of mine.
Who?
Well, it's someone you don't know, a Mr. Alexander Kutsov. Will you?
Why?
Keep it up, Nelson. You're doing a great job.
Finish, Daddy.
All right, darling.
God, Dad, Nelson's supposed to be a guest.
Well, he's stronger than I am.
Can't make you do that.
I know. Zoe.
Lunch is ready.
Hey, that's terrific. Well done.
The birthday calendar. I thought it'd be more interesting for him.
What's that?
Daffodils.
Hmm?
That's going on holiday. Riding, school, leaves, tobogganing, and Father Christmas.
To Alexander Kutsov, have a wonderful birthday, and I hope you enjoy it very much. All my love, Zoe.
Kiss, 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 kiss.
That's perfect.
Is Natasha doing one?
Oh, I don't know. Do you want to?
I would, only I'm a bit busy with this at the moment.
Lunch! That one's all right. You could always go into devices if you want a bigger selection.
Hello, Mrs. Grove. Down for the weekend, my dear? Yes, the whole family. Good. I'll see you in the pub, no doubt. Fine. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Mrs. Grove.
Alexander, we share the same birthday. Good luck. See you in London. Your writer friend, Paul.
Does he read English?
God knows.
Они были здесь, в Лондоне. 4, кажется.
We have 3 television channels, BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV.
У нас 3 телевизионных канала, а 2 канала BBC.
Well, George.
Hello.
You know, the last time I wrote Russians into anything, I turned them into stereotype comic buffoons. I got my laughs. You think they do the same with the English?
Why don't you ask them?
What am I doing here, George? What are you doing here? We should be boycotting this charade. I'm going home. I can't face them.
Think of them as the Kremlin's rum.
Oh, jeez, it's hard work. Your turn, chum.
How's work going, comrade?
Real work? Well, I'm writing a novel about a First Division football team. It's just about to be relegated. You know, the effect on the players, effect on the manager, effect on local trade, you know, what it's like to lose status. I mean, you don't know they're going down, you know, not until the last kick.
Last kick, yeah.
I got Danny Blanchard advising me on it.
Oh, well.
Oh.
Hello?
Hello.
Do you speak English?
Yes, little.
Can I help?
Oh, can you help? Polly, this is Paul.
Just speak in English, and I'll do the rest.
Oh, right. Well, how do you like London?
Как вам нравится Лондон?
Спасибо. Я получаю огромное удовольствие от пребывания в Лондоне, но улицы немного грязноваты, и жизнь довольно дорогая.
I'm enjoying London very much, thank you, but I find it very expensive and rather dirty.
But dirtier than Moscow?
А в Москве чище?
А в Москве на улицах мусора нет.
Moscow does not have rubbish in the streets.
Ask him if the KGB are here.
No, not that.
Oh, well, ask him if he prefers English women to Russian women.
Как вам нравятся англичанки?
Англичанки прекрасные и очаровательные. К сожалению, я женат.
English women are very beautiful and charming, but unfortunately he has a wife at home.
Бывает, однако, случаи.
What did he say?
However, he could perhaps make an exception.
Oh, yes. Is he going to make a dash for it?
No, please.
What?
I think you're being rather cynical, aren't you?
No, I'm trying to make a conversation, Polly, and you are thwarting me. Ask him if he knows a friend of mine, Alexander Kutsov.
Знаете ли вы его друга Александра Куцева?
Kutsov?
You must have heard of him. He's a well-known Jewish writer who's written a book about the circus.
Он известный еврейский писатель. Написал книгу про цирк.
Я слышал это имя. Разве он член Союза писателей?
I believe I have heard the name, yes, but is he a member of the Writers' Union?
No, of course he isn't. He's in prison. Ask him why. Go on, Polly. Ask him why.
Он находится в заключении. Что посадили на Александра Куцева?
В тюрьму сажают тех, кто нарушает законы своей страны.
He's in prison, presumably, because he's broken the law of his country.
Oh, for God's sake, he only wanted to go and live in Israel. Is that against the law?
I don't think he wants to talk about Kutzer.
Yes. Why not? All right.
Are you Jewish?
No. I mean, what's that got to do with it? Are you?
Bacon?
No. Zoe, darling.
Darling, I don't think Daddy feels like singing at the moment. He's got an upset tummy. You packed your lunch?
Yeah. Runs to college, Dad.
Nope.
I'll be late.
Certainly right.
Want any breakfast? I can't. I'll probably be back late. I'm meeting Nelson from his work. Bye, Dad. Thanks for the lift.
I'll come to the bus stop with you.
Hey. Hey, the letter's here. The cable we sent to the Moscow Olympic Committee. I signed that. I've been left out. Not famous enough.
Well, that's good. She won't be on the Kremlin files.
Well, I sent him a birthday card. So did Zoe. We'll both be on the file.
Do you mean that?
What for, Dad?
Come on if you're coming.
Watch the roads. Bye.
Look, Desmond Hughes is here. Hey, I spelled his name wrong. Listen. H-U-P-H-E-S. Hoofs. Oh, that's revived me.
So that's it, is it? Back to work now?
What?
Well, you sent a birthday card written to the Guardian. What else can you do?
Who's doing this? A waste of time.
No, but you're not going to set fire to yourself outside the Russian embassy, are you? And you've got to play to finish by the end of the month.
So this doesn't grab you then?
I didn't say that. But look, Afghanistan, South Africa, Iran, Cambodia, battered wives, unemployment on D side.
T side.
D side. You can't take them all on.
Right. Absolutely right. Okay.
Off the bandwagon and into the big top.
Present for you.
Family Circus. This is Harry Mottram Sr., grand old showman and founder, now in a home for senile ringmasters, but still a force. His two sons, Johnny and Harry Jr. Harry got out years ago and made it as a newsagent. Now, Johnny is in trouble financially. Harry turns up as rightful heir and offers to bail him out and pay all the debts. If Johnny agrees to stop the travelling and become resident circus in a safari park, Johnny tells him to get stuffed. Now, other main characters include Ruth, Poodle Act, mistress of the old man years ago, and kept on for sentimental reasons, she thinks, in charge of box office. Billy, adopted Mottram, trouble with his boots, not to mention his wife Hilda, who has locked herself in a caravan and refuses to come out because he has broken his promise to retire at the end of last season and open a bicycle shop. Kate. Flying Kate, real name Betty, who becomes Johnny's girl for the season. Now, she is married to a Polish builder who turns up and rumbles a fare on a flying visit, so to speak, and in a fit of gloom climbs up her pole perch and has to be talked down during the interval. Still with me? Ralph Minton, white clown and road manager, a slimy, seedy fellow. Now, Harry finds out that he has been cooking the books for years, so he does a bolt with Irene, here, squaw, bareback rider, a slovenly girl, leaving a gap in the show which has to be filled by Harry coming out of retirement and trying to remember his father's old routines, and by Fat Geoffrey. Geoffrey the ring boy, who is hopeless but an enthusiast. Ogier, weight and measures man, who brings an action against the circus, Mervyn the midget, they've either lost or packed, and the Hungarian acrobatic troupe, who keep getting sent to the wrong town and never show up. Do you like the theatre, Nelson? I mean, don't be afraid to say no.
There you are. I've been looking for you everywhere. I'm ready.
What do you do for a living, Nelson?
Told you, Dad. He works in a garage. Come on.
Now, just a minute. What do you want to do?
I'm just biding my time, Mr. Clemens.
I'm stuck. I haven't made any progress in 2 weeks. I'm going to chuck it in.
You can't. It's a marvellous idea.
Well, help me then. Do I set it inside or outside the big top? Do I litter the stage with llamas and elephants? Do we know any actresses who can perform on the high wire? Apart from our daughter, of course.
Zoe! Didn't someone do it in jumpers?
Did they?
And what about Equus? There were horses on stage having their eyes put out. You just have to create the sense of it theatrically. Be bold.
What the hell does that mean? Just a minute. You go on. I'll catch you up.
Okay. Dunsey! Dunsey! Yeah. Come on.
Alexei? Paul.
My good friend.
What are you doing in this neck of the woods?
Looking for you.
I read your book. The prison book. It was full of humor. Did you get my birthday card?
Yes, thank you. And your daughters, too. It was very kind of you to think of me. Oh, and happy birthday to you as well.
My cottage is just there through the trees. Do please drop in if you get the time.
I will, of course. Thank you.
Hey, you done your teeth?
Yeah.
Have you? All right, in you get. That's Eddie.
Daddy,
Mm-hmm.
how can your Russian friend be in the woods if he's in prison?
Well, he's not really in the woods. I just put him there so I can talk to him.
Scary.
No. You talk to people, don't you, in your stories? And they're not really there.
That's different. What's your story, Dad?
Well, I don't know yet. I mean, talking to you's part of the story. He's got a little boy called Joseph. Now, you can talk to him if you like.
Is he real?
Of course he's real. He lives in Israel with his mum.
Night-night, darling.
Will you let Mr. Cotswell come in the house?
Yes, if he wants to come in.
What will Mummy say?
Oh, I don't know. What will you say, Mummy?
Shall I think of something?
What do you know about Russia, Zoe?
The capital is Moscow and it puts people in prison. It's got bombs and it wants to kill us.
Who told you that?
Daddy. It's got nuclear missiles.
Do you know what a nuclear missile is?
I think so. It's a bomb that's missed, isn't it?
What else do you know about Russia, Zoe?
I know a story. I think it's about Russia. Tasha told me.
Hmm?
There's an island where really bad criminals go. They have to live there all their lives, and if they try and escape, they get eaten up by sharks. There's a little bay all around the island with sharks all around. One man went there, one criminal, who had no friends. You'll see it on my foot.
Hmm? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Go on, go on.
He made some friends there. They were birds. He gave them some of his bread and water every single day. And then one day he died, and the birds came, and then they flew away looking really sad.
It's Alcatraz. No, that's the Birdman of Alcatraz. Now, that's in America. Good night, honey. Sweet dreams. Come on, Teddy.
I've just been reading about a guy called Slepak, exiled to a village in Mongolia. 40 degrees below in winter, 50 above in summer. The temperature can change 20 degrees in a single day. He lives in one room with his wife, no running water. The Mongolians treat him as an enemy because he's Russian. He has to work in the local garage, 24 hours on the trot, every second day. The rest of the time he spends sleeping, trudging half a mile to get water, and listening to the Russian radio, which is usually jammed by the Chinese, and occasionally, sunspots permitting, the BBC World Service. All he did was ask for a visa and publicly demonstrate for the Helsinki Agreement. They got him for malicious hooliganism.
Sorry, darling, what? I was miles away.
Yeah. So was I.
Mom, what are you doing?
I don't know, darling. Moving in?
I want to see what it's like.
In a Russian prison. How long's your sentence?
Well, I'll decide that.
Am I supposed to feed you?
They get rotten potatoes and cabbage with the odd maggot in, but some watery soup and a bit of old bread will do. About 7.
7? It's a bit of a waste of a weekend, isn't it?
Well, one won't harm me.
What happens if you want to go to the lavatory? I don't think this is very wise, is it? You'll freeze to death.
Well, so do they. I mean, so do they, presumably. Look. Push off, will you?
Cigars?
They're allowed cigarettes. 3. I'm going to ration them.
Shall I padlock you in?
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Zoe and I are going riding this afternoon. What if we fall off and get carted off to hospital? You could be in here for days.
I'll shout. Or break out through the window. I'll be fine. Go on, off you go.
Mom, why did you lock Dad in the shed?
He's conducting a little experiment.
So go and help him!
I don't think he wants any help.
Dad? Dad, what are you doing?
Trying to get a bit of peace. Go away.
Are you working?
Yeah, yes. Scram!
Morning.
Hello, Graham.
You look hard at work.
Not at work at all on a morning like this.
Look, I'm sorry to interrupt. I was looking for your good husband.
I don't know where he is at the moment, Graham. I think he was getting logs.
Oh. Oh, well, never mind.
Can I help?
Well,
Would you like a sherry?
No, thank you. Your husband very kindly offered to give a talk to my careers group at the youth club. I was just going to try and pin him down to a date. Didn't I catch sight of him in the shed?
You may have. I'll go and see.
Are you a friendly old chap?
She's a bit sugar-handed.
I do beg your pardon.
Graham's here.
I know he is.
He's seen you. Would you like to come out?
Well, I'll have to now, won't I?
Sorry, Graham. I was just repairing the chainsaw.
Yes, I thought I caught a glimpse.
You know, that couldn't have lasted 10 minutes.
It was a good try, anyway.
You mocked it.
I couldn't see the point in it, that was all. Seemed a bit self-conscious.
This cottage is full of weevils.
They're weasels.
Stoats, badgers. They're not bad. You nearly finished?
About a week.
There's a bat here. With quite a batty personality. It'll make that book a winner, which it doesn't deserve to be.
Thanks.
Night, Mum.
Night, darling.
Night, Dad.
Yeah, I know.
By the way, Nelson's taking me on a demonstration next weekend. You don't mind, do you?
Natasha, just a minute, darling. A demonstration against what?
The National Front.
Where?
Wilston.
Are you sure you want to go?
Of course I do. You don't want the National Front taking over, do you?
Oh, can you stop them?
Yeah. One look at me.
They're violent. People get hurt.
No more violent than Richmond on a Saturday night, Mum.
Natasha, look, we're going to the theatre on Saturday evening, the Kutzhoff evening. I thought you and Nelson were coming along.
We are. The demo's Sunday. I'll be all right. I'll be with Nelson and some friends of his.
Look, I know you're fond of Nelson. I mean, we all are. But you do realise he's a South African black militant with probable communist sympathies.
Yes, his uncle's in prison on Robben Island.
Is he?
I thought you approved of protest, Dad. I thought you'd be proud of me.
We are, darling.
Look, I'll stand right by a policeman the whole time, okay?
God almighty, don't do that.
Well, are you going to let me go or aren't you? My milk's getting cold.
All right. Well, take care.
Come on. I'll see you into bed.
Thanks, Mum. Don't worry, Dad. This is England.
Thank you. I'm enjoying this very much.
But you see the problems.
What yet?
Where have we got to?
Billy, the clown, is telling the young rink boy to educate his nose to the different smells of each town. This week, we are in pencils. Next week, curry. When in fact, he means Bromsgrove. That makes me laugh.
Well, it sounds rather laborious as you tell it.
I think you make the right decision to set it outside the big top among the caravans. It's the real human circus, the family, which is the focus of interest, not the fake circus inside.
Yeah, but even so, the plot is too diffused. Too many incidents crammed into one weekend. There's no sting, no identifiable hero.
Well, Chekhov's stories were often very diffused. Never bothered him.
Well, it's very generous of you to invoke Chekhov.
So, what happens at the end? The circus disintegrates.
Yeah.
And is that then your vision of Britain or Western democracy?
Oh, God, is that what you enjoy about it?
No. I enjoy many things about it. It'll be very popular in Moscow. I tell you, I will translate it for you if you like. We'll make some rules, huh?
But surely circus is the national art in Russia. They won't want to see a downtrodden circus. Won't it seem like a criticism of the state?
Some of us do have a sense of humor, you know. Well, maybe you're right. I hadn't thought of that. So, anyway, why don't you finish it?
My concentration's not very good at the moment. The play seems completely irrelevant.
Not to me.
Well, I may finish it one day. With a bit of help from my friend. Why don't you write a circus play?
Yes. Why not? Wouldn't be difficult. The animals are all in cages, aren't they? Russian bears perform. I'd borrow from George Orwell all my characters' animals.
Like the book my wife is illustrating.
Oh. Writing in prison is almost impossible. My thoughts are twisted, interrupted. All I can do is think of myself. And I'm cynical and indignant most of the time. No generosity. I try to describe the drama of my situation. The torture, the interrogation, the brilliant perceptions of my cellmate. What a gift for a writer. My trial, my impending execution, a moment of reprieve. Opportunity bungled. I'm best writing short, sexy romances for the gods, for them to discover. They have no minds. I write for their dreams. My dreams are my own business. I started writing a love story of separation. Two people who, for reasons, are prevented from meeting. So they have to make their love in their own heads. It's an act of faith, sustained over years. But then one of them weakens, the love fades. The other goes blissfully on, taking all life's knocks and dealing confidently with each day as it comes. So you see, you've had half a happy ending at least. Wrong. I never finished it.
What are you working on now?
No? A forest.
If we were separated forcibly, could you love me in my absence? No visits, no letters getting through. What on earth would keep you going?
I'd keep busy trying to get you out. You'd always be with me.
What about normal day-to-day needs? Comfort. Sex.
I mean, would I have an affair?
Would you?
I'd unsex myself. All the passion would go into the protest. I feel too guilty and disloyal.
Even if I understood?
Especially if you understood. What What would you do?
In prison. Easy. There's no choice.
ורבנים לבניך, שלום על ישראל. ורבנים לבניך, שלום ישראל. ורבנים לבניך, שלום על ישראל. ורבנים לבניך, שלום על ישראל.
Tonight, we can all play our part in trying to win what some regard as a hopeless cause. Before you leave the theatre this evening, we hope we will have persuaded all of you to become fighters for freedom, for one man's freedom, Alexander Kutsov's, whose own words, written in anguish from his prison cell, you're about to hear. But before we begin, I must tell you we have a most welcome guest in the audience tonight. She's flown especially from Israel to share in our tribute to her husband. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Elizaveta Kutsov.
Paul, I'll try and get us an introduction afterwards.
Now Mr. Jeremy Kemp, that well-known actor, will read from Alexander Kutsov's prison diaries.
My mother is Russian. My father was a Jew who died in 1941. I was a 16-year-old brainless young communist when my mother decided to change our family name back to her own name of Kutsova, and so registered on my passport that I was unmistakably a Russian. Having seen signs of anti-Semitism among the people, and sometimes seeing how these coincided with government policy, I joined the ranks of the oppressed. Those who fall into the hands of the KGB all have one curious thing in common. You can't believe you will ever really be put on trial, because all your life they've stuffed you with declarations of how humane, democratic, and just they are. It's only when the cruelty, the indifference, and soullessness that are the real faces of the state, yet so cleverly masked, only when the brainwashing is so widespread that the earth quite seriously begins and ends with the Kremlin, only then can blow after blow into the solar plexus sober a person up and help rid him of the myths that cloud his brain. Now here indeed is a paradox. To them you are a dangerous criminal, but in the depths of your soul you believe everything they've ever told you. In this world, there are three basic roles one can play: the executioner, the victim, or the spectator. And the spectator, naturally, if asked to choose, will become a potential executioner. However gloomy the world may seem, life can give you such humiliating kicks that it can have you wriggling about like a clown. I know how unimportant it is for them to sentence me to death. What they want is for me to entertain the public. Persecution of dissidents is more terrible than genocide. Genocide deprives people of their life. But if you destroy people's freedom of thought, you are destroying the very essence of life, its spirit, and its development through diversity.
We're okay for folk parties and stuff like that. No. Thanks.
Well, what do you think of it, Nelson? I thought it was good. Yes, good.
It was interesting, but it went on a bit.
Come over and meet her,
You go, we'll see. Can't we meet her?
Oh, no, it's a pleasure to take us.
Hello, Howard.
Hi.
How are you?
May I introduce my friend, Paul Clemens.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Mr. Clemens, a very celebrated British writer. He shares the same birthday as your husband. They're twins.
Well, almost.
Ah, I am especially pleased to meet you then. You are two of my husband's many friends here. Thank you.
Well, I don't know how useful.
Oh, you are. More than useful. Just being here tonight, all of you, this wonderful evening.
Will he know about it?
Oh, yes, he will know about it. I make sure of that.
You're in touch with him then?
Yes, I am in touch. But not in orthodox ways, you understand.
He writes letters to you in code, doesn't he?
Yes, but we have a problem. I am forgetting the code.
I feel I know him quite well.
You know him?
I mean the fact that we share the same birthday. We're both writers. We have an interest in the circus. We've lived through the same times.
Yes. The actor who did the reading, I felt Alexei was here.
Really?
I have goose pimples.
Elizabeth, I'm so sorry, but there's someone over there just back from Moscow. They've got mutual friends, I believe.
Yes. Excuse me.
Yes, of course. Oh, hello, Hoops.
Listen, we're having a demonstration outside the Russian embassy, Tuesday, 10:30, okay?
What?
We are handing in a letter to the Russian ambassador. Now, you're going to be there, aren't you?
Oh, well, just a minute, Desmond. I might not be free on Tuesday.
Oh, come on, Paul. It's important. We're expecting over 100 people.
Well, I won't be missed then. No.
Sorry to interrupt the dramatic flow, Dad. Can I have my pocket money?
How much?
5. Thanks, Dad.
Stuart for the news, I message you.
She in her room?
No.
It's gone midnight.
She could have phoned while we were out. Do you want me to cook you something?
No, this will do. Why does she only like blacks, do you think? How's Zoe?
Settled without overnight. Did you catch the news?
Yes, it all went off quite peacefully. Only 93 arrests.
What?
No, don't worry. She wanted to do it. To find out. That's the important thing. We did it. Vietnam, Trafalgar Square, pub afterwards.
What about your demo Tuesday?
Huh?
The embassy. You going?
I'd only go out of curiosity. I've lost Kutsov. And nothing more to say to him. His suffering is beyond me. And his wife was the wrong woman, as I imagined her. So, I'm cancelling his parole.
Sending him back to prison.
Well, I only needed him for the circus. See, I can't help thinking about the other chap.
A dissident?
Yeah. I can't even remember his name. Young journalist, probably a football reporter or a theatre critic. I'm told we're going to have to invent something for him to dignify his achievements, for public interest to be aroused.
Wasn't that the front door?
No. 3 roles to play. Spectator, victim, executioner. I missed that in the book. Well, I'm not an executioner, and I'm not a very likely victim, so rather than spectate, I plan to leave the arena. I've done my bit. Hello. Hello. Hello, Nelson. What? All right. Where are you, Nelson? Look, right, you stay where you are, and I'll be with you in about 20 minutes.
Nelson!
Excuse me, casualty.
Dr. Patel to casualty. Dr. Patel to casualty.
Nelson, where is she?
She's through there. They are just waiting for the X-ray
Who's
result.
the doctor?
They told me to wait here in a second.
Nurse, excuse me, I'm looking for Miss Clements.
Yes, she's still being treated in here.
Yes, can I go in and see her?
I'm sorry, if you'd like to sit down, she'll be with you as soon as possible.
Do you want some coffee?
Yes. Thanks, Nelson.
I was trying to phone you several times, but I couldn't.
Yes, we were out visiting Catherine's mother. Look, just tell me exactly what happened, will you, Nelson?
Well, the demo was quite peaceful, actually. We were going home, and then there was a rush behind us.
Yeah.
She got knocked over, and I was pushed on, so I could not save her. She got kicked in the head slightly and bruised her leg. I thought she was okay, but in the pub, she came over dizzy. She had a bit of double vision, so I phoned you and brought her here as a precaution.
Yeah, well, that was very sensible of you, Nelson. Look, how much was the coffee?
No, on me, Mr. Clements. I don't think it's too bad. I saw her an hour ago, and she was feeling better.
It was a good demo, was it?
Yes. Well, it is always worth it against the front.
Oh, yeah. Quite.
Dr. Hemmings to X-ray. Dr. Hemmings to X-ray.
Is that Sebastian Coe?
Yeah. What do you feel about the Olympics?
It's a joke. Moscow Olympics.
Sorry, I'm a bit confused, Nelson. Aren't you somewhere in your heart pro-Moscow?
Who says I am?
Well, if anybody's going to give you guns to fight your war...
We take the guns from anybody. But no Russian is going to take over Black Africa. Black Africa belongs to us, man.
And are you going back to claim it? How do you see the future, Nelson? I don't just mean Africa. I mean, do you think it has to be bloodshed? Everywhere? I don't. See, I'm rather hopeful in some respects.
You just write plays. You just talk about it,
What?
man. Sorry. Collins.
Oh, come on, let's talk about it, Nelson. I write plays, yes. Because I'm a man of peace, and because that's all I'm fit for. And because it gives me a chance to draw attention to things. Yeah, all right. The circus. But there are ways of using absurdity as a weapon. Do you understand? Never mind.
I don't think they let you smoke in here.
Look, your government and the Soviet regime are bullies. And bullies need the dark. So the more you shine the light on them, protest, not with guns and fists, but with words, the less they like it. I mean, that's proved.
They don't see it like that, man. They are too stupid.
I know they're stupid, Nelson. I know they're stupid, but they're not that stupid. Look, why do you think they commuted Kutsov's death sentence? Because of us, outraged in the West.
Oh, that's an old trick, man. They never meant to kill him. Just do one of the others.
How do you know that?
They do it all the time in oppressive regimes. They'll exchange your men for a few UN spies or Olympic amnesty, not agitation from the West. And what else are they doing? this cleansing, this rounding up of hundreds of dissidents in all Olympic centers so they can say, hey man, where are these people you Westerners complain about? Show us one. I read about that. It scared the shit out of me. There's more going in prison than ever will get out. Believe it, man.
Then what do we do about it, Nelson? I mean, you and I.
I think we each do our own thing, Mr. Clemens, and hope for the best.
Take care.
Don't panic, Dad. The X-ray's clear.
How are you feeling?
Fine. We going home?
Do we go in? No, we wait here, and they bring us out the caviar in a minute.
Good morning. We'd like to see the ambassador, please.
Have you got an appointment?
Yes, we wrote for an appointment. We're expected at 10:30. That's the time now. We have a letter.
The ambassador is busy.
How long will he be?
Excuse me.
The ambassador cannot see anyone without an appointment.
We are being filmed. What? That window there, see?
I don't see anything.
Oh, we're being filmed, all right. Well, I shouldn't let it bother you. They've got hundreds of feet of me.
That doesn't bother me, Desmond. You're a bachelor. This is your hobby. I've got a family to think of.
I've got a mother.
Are you there? We want to leave a letter.
The ambassador is busy. He cannot see you.
This is not unexpected.
Will you receive our letter? This is very discourteous of you, you know. We have an appointment.
Who are you?
We're a group of writers and journalists, and we wish to make a protest about a comrade of yours, Alexander Kutsov.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Excuse me, please.
Войдите.
Will you please take this letter to the ambassador?
It's raining.
How long do we persist?
About half an hour or so. Mustn't be seen to give up too easily.
How's the football novel, Desmond?
Well, I've had a bit of a setback with that, actually. I showed the first 5 chapters to Danny, Blanchard, and he found it a bit depressing. So I thought, I thought I ought to make the second division team going for promotion. I would put me in touch with Tommy Doherty.
Hello. Heavy mob.
Would you be good enough to take this to your ambassador, please? You're very rude. Do you understand me? You're supposed to be guests in our country. You may behave as badly as you like in your own...
All right. You're going to stand there all day, you'll get wet.
We are prepared to wait all night if necessary.
Well spoken.
Well, they weren't seriously going to crash through their own gates, were they?
Well, what now, friends?
All the way from Siberia in the USS Avant, we are proud to present the fabulous, fantastic, the one and only Zuliovsky and his amazing dancing bears.
I've got an idea for you. In your service. Outside.
Darling, I'm just going outside for a couple of minutes. Will you be all right?
Что ж ты? Папа скоро вернется.
My son has found a friend.
You must stop me if I talk your problems out too fully.
Sometimes you make it sound as if my problems are bigger than yours.
Your action happened here. We imagine the circus inside, right? Hey, look. Billy Mokru. He thinks himself unnoticed. You must include that. Now, you have too many incidents crammed into a couple of days, yes? Well, this is my idea. You break the play up into a series of short scenes, each one representing a week in a different town. You see, the set doesn't need to change. But you arrange, so it's the same whether you're pitched on the local recreation ground in Bromsgrove or behind the town hall in Abergavenny.
It's marvelous. I can build the effect of the circus breaking up over several weeks. I mean, it solves the pacing and the rhythm.
Are you looking for someone?
No, No. Sorry.
Don't interrupt. Do not interrupt. Will you not interrupt me?
Well, how would you describe what we're doing?
Well, it's rather like someone who's taken an overdose, isn't it? You've got to keep walking around with him, supporting him, till help arrives.
Please do, dig into the cheese board.
I can recommend the student.
That's how I see our task, anyway.
But aren't we the doctor as well, Philip?
Well, how can we be?
Well, we certainly don't do enough.
Well, there isn't time. Everyone's busy.
And there are too many of us, I think.
Oh.
How many people turned up the other day at the Russian embassy?
Goodness, I was out shopping. What happened at the embassy?
They wouldn't receive our letter.
But you had an appointment with the ambassador, I thought.
He was busy.
Such bad manners.
You thought you were being filmed, didn't you?
No doubt of it.
Elizabeth, more coffee.
Thank you.
Is there any risk being filmed and filed?
You mean harassed and hamstered by the KGB? No, I don't think so.
We're not important enough.
What was it you called us, Philip? Nits on the Kremlin's roof.
But you may find trouble in getting a visa.
Well, I don't want to go there anyway.
You don't want to visit Moscow?
No, not much.
Catherine, more coffee. No, thank you. Our youngest daughter sent your husband a birthday card.
Did she? Splendid.
I just wonder if she's marked down on a file somewhere, that's all.
No. I don't think even the Russians would stoop to that.
Why don't you want to visit Moscow? It's a very interesting place for a writer.
I wouldn't feel secure there.
But you can take the whole family now on a package holiday. And you can drink Coca-Cola.
You think I should go? And what would I do there?
I don't know you well enough to answer that.
You see, I can always duck that kind of risk by saying that my family came first.
Of course.
Well, there are people going and taking risks, collecting manuscripts, messages, but there should be more things for us to do here.
I thought you were very brave at the embassy, Sylvia.
I was angry.
Why don't you write something, Paul? After all, that was the point of getting all these writers and journalists together.
Yes, please don't make it too earnest.
Well, I can see the humor of my part in it.
Then give us that.
How long will you be staying with us?
I don't know. I go back in a week, maybe. I still want to see the changing of the guard.
What are you writing at the moment?
Oh, it's a play about a traveling circus that falls apart on the road.
Is that a metaphor for Western democracy as you see it?
Well, I'd rather not give it labels, but I'm convinced that your husband is the only man that can help me finish it.
My husband?
Yes, I discuss it with him. I've appointed him my advisor on circus. That helps to keep him alive for me, to keep my commitment alive. So, you see, I have a vested interest in his freedom.
It's most intriguing. When you have these discussions with him, are you visiting him in the prison? Or does he come to you?
He comes to me. I've got a special arrangement with the authorities.
I wish I was so fortunate.
Darling, Elisavetta's glass.
Oh. I didn't mean to make light of it. I'm quite serious.
Yes, I know. Thank you.
When did you last see him?
4 years ago. Just before the trial. We were allowed an hour together, supervised, of course. We discussed Spinoza's definition of liberty. Until the guard said, meeting over.
Elisaveta has made many attempts to visit her husband, but all requests were refused.
Even though, by Russian law, he can have 3 visits a year. But now, of course, I can't go, so... You spoke earlier of not doing enough. I think you do more than enough. But unfortunately, it is not enough.
But we are nervous. We're scared of putting ourselves out. Our timidity must seem very strange to you after what the dissidents go through every day.
No, it is understandable. You need your courage for the things that matter to you most. If someone breaks into your house and threatens your family, then you challenge him without fear. That's only what we're doing. I'm sorry. I bring a cloud over a lovely dinner party.
Oh, I don't think we should be afraid of the crowd. We're just happy to have you with us.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Paul. Happy birthday to you.
Well, I'm speechless. Did she tell you about it?
No secrets in this village. Give Anastasia a big kiss now.
Well, I suppose you better all have a drink.
Oh!
No, I insist. But first of all, I wonder if you mind drinking a toast to a friend of mine who can't be here this evening, unfortunately, because he's in the nick. Oh! Actually, we share the same birthday, almost, and I know he'd like to be remembered. His name's Alexander.
Alexander, happy birthday.
Alexander. Right, over to you, Bill. My round.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Paul.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Happy birthday.
And who is this Alexander? Your black sheep brother?
You'd be interested in him, Mrs. Grove, wouldn't you, darling? He's a fellow countryman of yours.
You mean Russian or British?
He's a Russian dissident. He's in prison in Moscow, and I'm trying in a rather desultory fashion to get him out.
What is his name?
Alexander Kutsov.
I'm sorry. Perhaps I overreact. But you are a gentle dreamer, Paul. You really know nothing of these things, and you should keep out of them.
Why?
Because they don't concern you.
Well, I'm sorry, but I think they do.
Look, I've known you both for a year now. We drink together, we are friends. I tell you stories of my Russian past, which, if I was a writer, I would astonish the world with. But, oh, you are too busy, I understand. I'm a tedious old woman.
Oh.
But I have a mind, and I listen to you talk such rubbish. I know what you do with your meetings and your demonstrations for this person and that person. And I tell you now, you are so innocent, so wrong, misguided. Your man, Kutsov. Your hero. Yes, I know him. He is a Russian Jewish dissident.
Well, he's only half Jewish.
What? Yes, I know. But it is worse. He is Russian and should be proud to be Russian. We succored him, educated him, gave him every opportunity to do what he wanted. And how does he repay us?
But he wanted to go and live in Israel. You wouldn't let him.
Why should he leave? What for? Nobody forced him. How dare he?
But you left, Mrs. Grove. You came here to England. You chose to live here.
There was no choice, my dear Catherine, I assure you. My story was different. There was a war. I live here, yes. I marry an Englishman who works for British Rail. I am grateful. But you will never hear me speak ill of my country.
Kutsov doesn't speak ill of Russia. It's the regime.
The regime? What about it? You speak badly of your governments, don't you? Of course, all is not good with my country. I would not be here if it was. I am talking about loyalty. Loyalty to his own people, his own blood. They are the ones he is betraying.
Betraying?
Of course. When he gets to the West, what does he do? What do they all do? They make mischief. They tell lies. He is a traitor just as surely as Philby is a traitor to you.
Doesn't give away secrets.
Secrets are nothing. He gives ammunition to Russia's enemies. To you. He makes you aggressive and puts his own people at risk. Yes, you smile. It's so easy for you. But loyalty to my country, for me, is above all loyalty. And that is the crime that he... Oh, I'm sorry. I am emotional. But you get me so steamed up, you people. I go home. Take me home, someone, please.
You don't look well. Get in. You'll soon warm up. Do you mind the music?
No.
I'm on my way to London to referee a rugby match.
Rugby, I've never seen.
Well, they do play it in Russia. We send teams over, but it is more of a British game. Where are you going to?
Well, please drop me off wherever's convenient.
No, I'll take you to wherever you want to go to. I have the time. I met your wife. She's well. She's bearing up well.
She smokes too much.
Yes. I told her about our meetings. I hope you don't mind.
Of course not. What month is it?
February. Will you be able to see springtime from your window? I mean, the seasons. Is that possible?
I smell them. Like Billy. What is your present for?
Mine?
A sense of your own limitations. Like all of us writers, a perpetual state of anxiety. But you're a happy man, even so.
I'm the happiest man I know. And so are you happy by nature.
Ah, that's because you've given me parole. See the real me. I'm emptied out. Only irony to sustain me.
Are you afraid?
Ah, what more can they do to me? I have no secret. You in the West are always waiting to be found out, and that makes you afraid, doesn't it?
All governments are afraid of that.
Mine won't let me go to Israel because they're afraid of what I might say about them.
Afraid you'll expose them?
But they're exposed already, without my help. No, there's a story. It's a Russian story from my student days. Well, they know the Russians. An old man is sitting on the park bench next to a beautiful young woman. He looks at her for a moment, then he says, "My dear, would you sleep with me for 1,000,000 rubles?" She thinks, she says, "Yes, of course, all right." There is a pause. Then the old man says, "Would you sleep with me for 1 ruble?" She's very angry. She slaps his face. "What do you think I am?" she says. He replies, "My dear, we have established what you are. We are merely discussing your price."
What made you tell that story? Are you the old man? Am I the whore? I don't think I take very kindly to that.
No, no, Paul, you misunderstand me. You are the old chap. What price are you willing to pay?
Yeah?
It's George.
Hello, George.
What? I don't believe it. When?
Kutsov's been released. No reason. It was on the news at lunchtime.
Hey!
Bardowski, journalist. Vladimir Shlipak, exiled to Mongolia, 4 years. Dr. Viktor Berilovsky, cybernetic expert. Colonel Ovshishev, from Minsk, refused emigration visa in 1972. Tatiana Velikanova, mathematician. Yosef Begun, married, 1 child. Ida Nudel, economist. Evgeny Baras, journalist, married, 1 son. Simon Schnillman, technician, single. Yakov Kandinov, dentist, married, 2 children. Antonina Agapova, 70, arrested 9th November, confined to psychiatric hospital. Alexei Merizhenko, age 38, student, married. Andrei Sakharov, exiled to Gorky. Yosef Mendeleevich, age 33, sentenced 12 years. Yuri Fyodorov, student, married, sentenced 15 years.
Yes, I understand that, Philip. Yes, of course. No, thank you very much for letting me know. Yeah. Bye now.
He's in London. He's staying with Philip and Sylvia for the weekend. Philip says he wants to meet some of his English friends before he goes to Israel. If I want to see him, it has to be this afternoon. I'm reffing.
Well, cancel it. Tell him your knee's gone again.
What would I say to him? He's not important anymore. He's free.
Oh! Look out, Mark. Hang on. They're both. Take it out. Get it out. Wheel it. Shut the other one. Not straight. Keep the spacing. Don't throw yet. Not straight. What do you want, Kings? Scrum down our lineup.
We'll take the scrum, please, sir.
Scrum down, yes.
Hold it.
Thanks very much.
Clark, 3 cheers for all 3. Hey!
Thank you, Ref.
See you later.
Philip. Hello. He wanted to see a typical English game. Paul Clements, Alexander Kutsov.
Это один из тех, кто боролся за твое освобождение.
Благодари его от моего имени Орошо.
He thanks you for your help.
Tell him I'm very pleased to see him.
Рад тому, что смог увидеться с тобой.
Скажи ему, что за многих и многих еще надо бороться.
He says there are still many others to fight for.
Стоит бороться.
Worth fighting for.
Yes, I know. Did he get my birthday card?
Спрашивает, дошла ли его открытка ко дню рождения.
No, sure, no, благодарю.
No, but he thanks you all the same.
We're the same age. We both share an interest in circus. I need help. You can help me. Circus?